up the entire team RLPC. RLPC established 2008. Forever great, make the whole world shake. RLs to the world, this is the RLPC anthem. RLs. This are the R, the L, the P and the C. Respect, love, peace and culture. This are the R, the L, the P and the C. Respect, love, peace and culture. This are the R, the L, the P and the C. Respect, love, peace and culture. This are the R, the L, the P and the C. Respect, love, peace and culture. Classic at the general, Escort at the general. Sister Cuss at the female general. Rushmark, Blue Magic Sound Killer. Deadly Assault DJ Kill Sound Player. Draw, Vic and the one called Lifa. Respect the God 7-star representer. Big up Captain Khalid, the silent killer. Big up Mr. Upwave and aim high. This are the R, the L, the P and the C. Respect, love, peace and culture. This are the R, the L, the P and the C. Respect, love, peace and culture. This are the R, the L, the P and the C. Respect, love.
Yeah. We here, baby. We back. That's what it is. You know how we do. We keep coming and coming and coming. We told y'all, right?
Sir. Politics as usual, baby. You know what I'm saying?
This is what we do.
We're in a covert area right now. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time you'll ever see this. You know what I'm saying? This is the clubhouse. We ain't gonna tell you where we at though, but this is the clubhouse. RLPC clubhouse. We here with the general. You know what I'm saying? The man, the man right here, co-founder of RLPC, my big brother. You know what I'm saying? Classic.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? How you feeling, brother?
We here with him. We here with him, baby. We here with him today, man. We just gonna build, let y'all know and get an understanding about RLPC. If y'all didn't know, y'all gonna know today after this interview.
The inner workings of what we about. You know what I'm saying? You think what I'm saying? Yeah.
Find out how they got started. How the movement, you know what I mean? What they doing today out here with the cold drive, the shoe drives and stuff.
All kind of drives.
You know what I mean? The drives. The drives. You know what I mean? So we gonna build on it.
This is driving.
We gonna drive it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. We happy to be here, man. Down here with you, man. See what's good, but yo, we know we gonna get on the RLPC and all that and build on that, but
that's right, baby. That's right.
Classic.
Here we go.
Classic.
And we go right to it.
We gotta holler at classic. We on that classic. Classic. Where you came up from? In Brooklyn, Queens? Where you from?
Yeah. I'm BK, originally from Hawthorne and Albany. Then I resided to the 90s.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. You was out there. So when you were out there, who you was with? Who you was running with out there?
Oh, we had some dudes, from my block. You know what I mean?
All right.
It wasn't really just a collective dudes from my block. You know what I mean? But I was affiliated with a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Steam teams, the second edition of Ralphie's Kids, the 90s edition.
Oh,
I mean, the 90s
Steam team. You know the Steam team.
90s. Yeah.
A couple crews came up out of that.
A lot of people
shout out
know,
to the 90s too. Y'all
like, there's original Ralphie's Kids from St. John's, and then there's the second generation of Ralphie's Kids.
Here we go, 2.0, baby. 2.0.
90s? There you go. Little knowledge if you ain't know. Those ain't know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Word. That's what it is. And they was down there doing their thing.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to all them dudes from back then. You know what I mean? Baby Homicide, BMW.
Yeah, shout out to Baby Homicide, wherever you at, son. What up?
Yeah, slow.
That's a legend in the streets, man. For real.
But growing up, like on Hawthorne and Albany, you had dudes like from my neighborhood, Fabian, Nana, White Boy Kev, Devon. You know what I mean? So I grew up watching them dudes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But like coming from Barbados in like '88. You know what I mean?
That's that 88 again.
88 again.
88 from Barbados.
That's how we make it, 88.
My cousin, shout out to Jason Armstrong, my cousin.
What up?
He's the one who really gave me the game, you know what I mean? He's like, yo, nah, you can't dress like this, hold this, da-da-da-da.
Right.
And then dudes from our block, you know what I mean? They was on it. They was on it, on the low, getting fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's what
I used to come up here on the summers, you know what I mean?
Right.
So coming up on the summer, I kind of got into it a little bit, you know what I mean? And then going to 391. Shout out to 391, man. Jackson,
baby.
I met this guy That's how far back we go. 1988. This how far me and this guy go back.
Go that 88 again.
You know what I mean?
That 88 again.
Shout out to 391, Mahalia Jackson. And you know,
391 was popping.
It was hectic in there.
Yeah.
It was definitely hectic.
You know that was the 80s, man. You know
that's where I made my bones. You know what I mean? Started coming up. You know what I mean? And then I went to Transit Tech. You know what I mean? And that was another hectic place. You know what I mean? A dude coming from that time, I'm in the 90s, and I'm coming from the 90s, going to East New York. The B12 was a hectic bus.
Yeah, that B12 bus was crazy.
That B12.
Yeah, back in them days.
I'm telling
you, B12 bus was real. So I used to catch
if you wasn't bad, don't be on that B12.
I used to catch that B12 bus. That was real.
Oh man, Lord, I know going up in there.
Dang. So my school, Transit Tech, was consisted of a lot of boosters from everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Transit Tech too.
So we had dudes from Crown Heights, Bed-Stuy, East New York, Brownsville.
It's like a melting pot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had dudes from everywhere, Queens. You know what I mean? Dudes from everywhere. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to my man GQ, Randy.
You know what I mean? Man.
He went to Transit with me also.
My man,
so shout out to him.
My nigga Randy, yo. Randy loves team.
So in them times, so you was around all the low, you seeing it, you know. Who was, you know what I mean, what made you get into the low and say, you know what, this is what I want of the movement, or this is what I'm gonna start rocking to be my uniform?
Well, like I said, you know, like coming from Albany and Hawthorne, you know what I mean?
Right.
All them dudes out there fresh, rocking low, and you know, from my cousin put me on because he was doing his thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
And me, we lived in the same house.
Right.
So me seeing him getting fresh just wanted to make me get fresh too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
you're gonna pick up on that because you're just like, yo, I can't be the dude that's outcasted when I know I could get that too.
My cousin held me down because you know, people from the Caribbean, you know what it is.
Yeah.
They gonna take your cousin or your mom's friend.
Yeah.
And if y'all the same height.
Yeah.
They gonna take him shopping for you.
That's right.
And they gonna send that barrel down.
That's right.
We going back. They gonna send the barrel down.
Yeah, shout out to the barrels. Shout out to the barrels.
So shout out to all the Caribbean people that get them barrels. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to everybody getting the barrels soon.
Send the barrels out there. Shout out the barrels going to Haiti, man.
Shout out to Barbados.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
That's what's up.
That's what's good, man. But and you started doing, you know, I guess you started getting into the low and stuff, and then you formed, or who you got with to form the RL, because you also on the motorcycle game. Which came first, the motorcycle, the riding, or the RLs?
Actually, I'm not in the motorcycle club. I'm in the auto club. I just ride a motorcycle. You know what I mean? I just rock the motorcycle. So, shout out to Team Presidential, the auto club. But I was always fascinated with motorcycles, so I had to get me one.
Yeah, shout out to that big monster you know riding.
When you riding, it's such a brotherhood. When you riding, you get to know a lot of other riders, and you know y'all in the same circle.
Yeah, build camaraderie and stuff like that. Yeah,
you can just be riding and pass somebody. It's like, and you know, they'll put the peace sign out. You know what I mean? It's sort of like us with the low. Yeah. You might see somebody rocking low, and you rocking low, you just give them the head nod. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a respect kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
we riding.
Like, I see you. I see you.
I see you.
I see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So as far as the RLPC thing, that came first. You know what I mean?
RLPC.
Yeah, that came first.
So now the thing with the RLPC thing now is there are a lot of variations, a lot of stories out there about the history and who was there and stuff like that. Can you tell us who was actually the original founders of RLPC besides yourself?
All right, the original founder is Chopper.
Okay, Chopper.
Yeah, it's Chopper.
Okay.
So it's and it was founded on Show Your Low.
Show Your Low. Okay.
You know what I mean? Which was Wiggs was running that site at the time. So,
so Wiggs had the site.
We had original 9. It started with original 9.
Firstborn, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And that
I like that.
Original 9 RLPC members. So shout out to original 9, Esco, Crash, BFO, which is better known as Stash today.
Stash, shout out to Stash.
Face, aka Fizzles.
Right.
Who else we got? Trey, he's in California.
Trey.
Chopper and Wiggs and myself.
Okay. So that was the original members.
9. Yes.
And that was in April of 2008.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
April 2008.
2008. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a big part of it was a show they had. Thurston had a show in the city. I think it was Low in Lyrics.
Low in Lyrics, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's when a lot of I met up with a lot of people I didn't see in a long time.
Okay.
So, you know, I was like, oh, whoa, you know what? Let's keep this going. You know what I mean? I started saying, hey, you know what I mean? I'm doing this, da-da-da. I explained it. And it's like, all right, yeah, cool. Boom, boom. And they came aboard.
Why RLPC? Why did you name the team RLPC?
Okay, let me give you the breakdown of the original name of RLPC. The original name of RLPC, because we was just getting together, rocking low, trying to bring back that essence from back in the days. The original name of RLPC was Ralph Lauren Polo Club.
Ralph Lauren Polo Club. That's history right there.
Right?
There you go. So, that's what we're here for.
The new name was actually coined by one of our members, Marlo. Respect, love, peace and culture.
Right.
And that's how this name came about. So shout out to Marlo.
Yeah, shout out to Big Body James Cool Bear. You know what I'm saying?
Cool Bear.
AKA Cool Bear Law. Knockout Law.
Put that drink down, man.
Put that drink down low. Yeah, so, okay, so now, you know what I mean? Because there are things that we know and things that we don't know and stuff like that. So it's, now we're dealing with, you said Ralph Lauren
Polo Club.
Club.
That's no longer the name.
That's no longer the name. And then I remember seeing it was Rock and Low Professional Club. How did that come about?
Those are, we actually went by that too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
We went by, it was either Rock and Professional Club or we went by Ralph Lauren Polo Club.
Right.
You know what I mean? Either or. It was once it was RLPC, those were, you know, it's an acronym.
So just throw the acronym.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Got you. Okay. And then what about the now how did the shoots thing come into be incorporated with the team factor? Like who was the one the brain surgeon about doing the shoots and making it cohesive to everybody wear the same piece?
Oh, you talking about the photo shoot y'all do and stuff when y'all coordinate and everything together.
How did that start? What was the foundation of that?
The foundation of that was Chopper. He's a photographer.
Okay.
So he came to me. He said, "Yo, let's start taking pictures." You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, actually, our first meeting was in Union Square.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? So it was just like, yo, we're gonna do a P-wing shoot. You know what I mean? We're gonna do an outdoorsman shoot. So whatever you got, P-wing outdoorsman.
Come on, bring it out.
Actually, shout out to Ski. He came to my first shoot.
Okay.
Which was in Prospect Park. You know what I mean?
OG Ski Black. Okay.
Yeah.
No support.
Yeah, y'all definitely will. Y'all definitely be doing the Blackouts photo shoot. Y'all do a lot of photo shoots when y'all be getting together and stuff. I be seeing, we definitely attended a few of them ourselves and stuff. Word, that's what it is, man. I definitely like that when you know everybody come together and y'all, you know, do the 1-2 and everybody dress up and coordinate it, and then you know what, then y'all had the girls there doing their thing. You know, that'd be nothing but love. That's what it's about. That's when you know the unity, you show that love, you know what I mean? Like you said, respect, love, peace, culture.
Yes, sir.
Word, that's what it is. Word up. So now, and then when y'all started moving on by like the growth of it, y'all started adding on members. You know, how did that process go? By, you know, the core people, when y'all started expanding at the events by, you know, people coming in, seeing what y'all about and saying, you know, I want to be a part of the RLs and stuff, or was it just something that, you know, people just, a friend of a friend came on and said, yo, this is my brother, yo, this is my man, we part of this, you know, I'm going to be a part of the RLs then. Because, you know, it's crews out there, you know, that people could attach themselves to, but, you know, how did, you know, that kind of organic thing come where y'all just, you know, like a Lifa or, you know, someone else say, you know what, I knew you, but was it at that time that maybe that's how Lifa probably, you know, you knew him from the school, from growing up in school now.
Right.
As y'all grow up, y'all run into each other again, and then you like, yo, I'm part of this movement. He said, you know what, you my man, I mess with you, okay, you know, I know, all right, I'm going to be a part of that movement too. How was that? How did, you know, y'all, you know, collaborate?
Like the protocol.
It's funny you ask that because pretty much everybody that's in the team, I know damn well over just about 10 years.
Yes, I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So it's
we're all connected.
We're all connected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for instance, Low Star. He went to school with my little sister.
Wow.
So I know him
for
many years.
Wow.
He's like a little brother to me.
Yeah.
You know, some shout out to Low Star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Esco, we from the same hood, we from the 90s. You know what I mean? Face and whatnot. You know what I mean? So when it first started, it was like a neighborhood and everybody was just connected. It was funny how he came about because a member brought him in. You understand?
I was bamboozled, Ben. I was bamboozled, Ben.
It was just like when members got in, it was just like, all right, you know, your class, this is my man from way back when, So it was like no new people. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It was just like somebody off the street just come in and like, yo, I want to be part of RLPC,
Right, hell yeah.
If nobody had no history on you, you know, you really couldn't be.
Yeah, you had to be connected in some way for sure.
But
that's true.
What happened was too, when we were flooding the airways with these pictures, man, a lot of people kind of gravitated like, yo, I want to be a part of that. It was just like Low Life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back in the days, everybody see somebody low down, they just automatically thought that person was Low Life.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Low on. Yeah, definitely.
So they see y'all, they say, you know what, y'all like that. Plus, like you said, when people see a bunch of people come together and ask what they're about, wearing low and getting fly, you know what? I see them guys come together and doing what I like to do, what I want to do. You know, I'm gonna see what's up with them because you know a lot of people wasn't doing that. A lot of people wasn't doing that. Coming together, dressing up, you know, and saying, yo, let's come with our uniforms on, just kill it, take some group pictures and just flood it and show that because that's what really show a movement and show that something is growing and something is happening when you see all the brothers and sisters come together and y'all do something like that.
Oh yeah.
But I just want to touch on this also. When we first came out, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
I knew that was coming.
I'm talking about we had to have meetings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then they realized that just about everybody on the team is connected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At some point,
somewhere,
everybody was connected. So, you know,
them RLs was definitely connected. Sure.
After the few meetings we had, then you know the love.
It's like okay, you know, brothers official
so,
whistle.
So when that thing went down and stuff like that, like the you know the back and forth and stuff like that. When was it official that RLPC was? Well, now we're not gonna say under the umbrella, but is a part of Low Life. When can you officially say that became an entity?
Say, let me see. We had that meeting in 09.
Okay, so 09. So like
about 09, the last meeting we had was in Wingate Park.
Right.
Okay.
And we were asked to merge with them.
Okay.
So RLPC and Low Life, we merged together.
Partnership.
Partnership, and so to speak.
Yeah. And you see how you heard that? That's true history right there.
Okay.
You can't buy that on eBay. That's history. We merged.
Merged together. That's how it's supposed to be when two entities come together. They strong over here, y'all strong over here. Yeah, these guys, you know, we've been doing it longer. We've been,
it's like
been that way. But you know what?
Sure.
You know, there's no problem with coming up and merging with the other cats. You see these billionaire companies do it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so there shouldn't be no way, oh, I can't do it. They do it and merge. The younger companies coming up. And guess what? Them younger companies be blowing up now.
Hell yeah.
You know, they killing them. But, you know, it's just a whole point of just lending that helping hand and showing that love and the growth and the movement. You know what I mean? Because even though they repping that, they still repping that one thing, that love and loyalty, them double L's. You know what I'm saying? When you repping that, it's all good. No matter what other shield you carrying on, you know the foundation because this is what it's about.
It's like an extension. You know what I'm saying? It's like a tree. Like I always say, my analogy of it is double L is is the tree bark, and we all extensions of that. You know what I'm saying? We just fly out like this. You know what I'm saying? So,
because not to say everybody, like we say, everybody rock low. You know, everybody did their thing in them times. You know, you got guys who was rocking low in 87, 86, 84, definitely. Whatever. That ain't low. That's from a whole nother part of town somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
But they wasn't a part of low life. They wasn't a part of it. They ain't had that opportunity to link up with certain people to be a part of that. But they've been rocking it and they've been doing that. So, you know what I mean? That's their thing. So, you know what? Now, here they come now saying, you know what? I got that link now. I can find out somebody that's in that inner circle and say, you know what? I can be certified per se, you know, by, you know, you certified yourself anyway. Me, if you wearing your low and you who you are. But when we looking into the culture of this here and you look into the history and you say, you know what? Okay, them guys, them low life guys been doing it, you know what I mean, for a minute. So it's only right. Only pay homage and say, go through the proper channels and say, you know what? This is the people I need to affiliate with, you know what I mean? Because this is what it is. So you know what? Affiliate yourself with it. But now, when I'm coming on that table with y'all at this table, I'm not coming just to say, let me hang on to you. I'm coming to say, listen, this is what I got too. You know what I mean? Heck with some little meat and steak on mine, you know what I mean? This is what I got to offer too. So you know what? So it ain't just that I'm trying to keep the movement going with you. I'm keeping it going with us. You know what I mean? Because I'm coming with something
that to the table,
and we all moving together.
That's what we brought to the table. Yes, sir. We got fly, but we also brought the charities. So that kind of differentiated us from everybody else because we were like the only ones doing the charity.
That was our lane, right?
And what I tried to do, try to get everybody involved. You know, we started off with the walks. And we had some of the OGs walk with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I say. Y'all do the walkathons. Y'all do that. Y'all do the turkey drives. Y'all do the back to school drives. Y'all definitely do. You know what I mean? Right now they about to do the matter of fact, you just did the shoe drive. Just did the shoe drive. You know, I think that was like a week ago. And then now y'all got the coat drive coming up. You know what I mean? Coming up. So that's, you know, y'all definitely, you know, giving back. And that's where we sat there and looked like, you know what, that's what you're supposed to do. And say, you know what, you got to give back. You know, it ain't always about just us coming together and just, you know, being, you know, just taking pictures and lying in each other's faces and stuff on other stuff. You know what I mean? Definitely. Let's say, you know, let's do this now. Let's come together and say, you know what, let's do something else that can, that's growing a movement. Because people these days, it ain't about the violence. It ain't about the negativity that makes anything grow these days.
It's positivity.
It's about the positivity. And if you sit there doing things and you can put that out there, the positivity, people won't recognize that and see that. And that's what people pay homage to and acknowledge nowadays. It ain't about, okay, you did that back in the days. The history is good. But now is what you're doing now. And what we're doing now is about that. It's about the kids. It's about, you know, showing back, you know, to the community. Our community. You know? Word.
We out here, the blankets for the babies right now, you know what I mean? For the young ones, man, we out here, man.
We out here.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Support, we out here to do for the youth, the community, we out here.
USL, RLPC, Low Life, we out here.
USL, RLPC, that's what it's about. Universal love and loyalty, respect, love, peace, culture. Let's get it.
I mean, being an adult, growing up in today's times, if you can't give back, you're supposed to give back. You know what I'm saying? So the thing, like when you said RLPC started giving back and stuff like that, what was the idea? When did we say that RLPC is going to go away from the picture thing and then go into the charity thing? Like, what was the ideology that brought y'all to say, you know what, all right, everybody's doing this, we want to do something different? When did that come about?
Well, that came about from day one.
Okay.
You know what I mean? From the original 9.
Okay.
But because everybody's schedules were so kind of hectic, you know what I mean? It's only when more members came in and then we were able to actually get it together.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That was the reason why we had meetings and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just to get together, shoot the breeze, and talk about what can we do for the community.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
How we going to give back?
Right.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, that's cool.
And that's what it's about, man. That's what I applaud y'all about that, man. Cause y'all was definitely the first crew that when we came back and I seen like, yo, y'all had meetings and the members was paying dues and stuff. Y'all paying dues because them dues ain't just about it. Dues is what help them drives that help out other things that your team need to do to make things happen. So that's what we also like to acknowledge that too, that y'all was the first dude that in this low culture that we saw dudes paying dues that I heard of, that people was paying dues as a team and coming together, and people was doing that. You know what I'm saying? If other people was doing that before that, I didn't hear of it. You know what I mean? It was silent. But I just know as what that did, that's why I acknowledge. That's why I say that's what we do over here ULL. You know what I mean? We got our members and stuff in Atlanta and all that. They paying their dues. Everybody pay dues, come together and do their thing and stuff. So that's what it's about, because if you're gonna be a part of this, it's not just about, like we say, about the pictures just for you to go on social media and say I'm a part of this situation.
Anybody can go fly.
You know what I mean? And just run around with that banner. It's got to be some structure there that you know what, you really paying. You really got love for this. It's really about love and loyalty. When we say, okay, pay dues, we do this so that things can happen, so we can do the book bag drive, so we can do that, because you can't always get donations from everybody. Everybody ain't always gonna give you donations, but if your team coming together, you got a few people coming together and y'all putting that money up and y'all doing y'all thing and say, you know what, we gonna make this happen, and we gonna get that later, the funds later when we do it, because sometimes you got to start stuff yourself in order to get things going. When you get the sponsorship and the donations from other people, other companies and stuff that want to donate. So sometimes you got to do that, and that's what you need. And if you do that with a team, it's much better. Definitely. Then you sitting there doing on one or two man. It's on one or two men.
The burden ain't on you.
The more individuals you got, is the better you can do it with. You know what I'm saying? So like what Dark was talking about with the drives and stuff like that, how did you pick, or how did the team pick? I'm speaking like I'm a non-team member right now.
Yeah, no problem.
How did the team pick what they would do as far as the drives, like the turkey drive? Why did RLPC do a turkey drive? Why did they do the coat drive? Why did they do the clothing drive? What was the ideology? Like, who was the ones that came?
The breakdown on that was, we did the first charity as far as we did the homeless shelter run.
Okay.
And after that, I told the members that you have to come up with a charity.
Okay.
So that's how that came about.
Put them on the spot.
So certain members, they came and said, you know what? I'm going to do a turkey drive. Okay. So that's how that came about.
Right.
Another member would be like, you know what? I'm going to do a book bag drive. So that's how that came about.
Right.
So what I try to get everybody involved. You know what I mean? So once I get everybody involved, you pick your charity, what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then the team will help you, and we run with that.
We run with it. That's what's up. And that's what it is. It ain't like it's all on you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or the leader or the president of the champion say, yo, let's do this, and everybody goes like, yo, bro, you here? Bring something. What you got to say
to the table?
That's what you bring to the table.
You're even in that way.
It ain't just like y'all doing it. We doing it. You doing that to another movement. You doing it amongst your movement. Like, yo, bro, don't just leave it on me to just say, yo, let's do a turkey drop. You got to. Let's do your turkey. You got a book. You got a co-drop. Let's do it. The brothers and sisters here will help you, and this is what it's about.
Even members could team up and do their thing. It's all good. You know what I mean?
And that's how, yeah.
So 8 years in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's RLPC.
8 years.
What would you say is the difference between then and now?
As far as
the team when it started to where the team is right now.
The team now, the team back then, because it's growing.
Okay.
But because everybody has a lot of their work schedules is kind of crazy, we don't get together as much as before.
Right.
You know what I mean? People have children now. They didn't have children back then, so they had more free time to be around.
Right.
So, it's responsibilities now.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when we come together, it's like yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We never love is always
touch.
there.
Never lose touch.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know what I'm saying? But I got one question I want to ask you.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? No, that's not the question, but this is what.
The
anniversaries. Now, there was a lot of chitter chat about the anniversaries, the sweaters that we wore for the parties and stuff like that. How did that come about? What the hell was y'all thinking to come together for that anniversary and put that together?
This sweater right here?
Yeah, that sweater right there. That image right there. How did that come about?
That came about one of the members.
Okay.
You know, one of the members.
Right.
Actually, I think it was about 3 of the members that came together.
I don't know.
Right?
I'm interviewing you, bro.
Listen, the members came to me and say, yo, let's do this.
Right.
I like to support my members once it's positive.
Okay. Right.
That's what you want to do? Let's do it. So that's how that came about.
That's it. That's all you gonna give them, huh?
That's how that came about.
That's it. Know what I'm saying?
And this is the finished product right here.
You want to be coy.
Right?
All right.
This is the finished product right here.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to those members that came
shout out to those members.
Shout out to the members.
You know what I mean? And
the members saluted there,
not for nothing. A lot of people want to buy this sweater.
Yeah, I know.
But
yeah, that's a nice sweater.
It's just for RLPC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
That's it.
What's the criteria though? In 2017, like say you take on a member next week, what would be the criteria for that individual?
It's like going for a job, and going for a job, you get that 10-year background check. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to.
You got to check dudes out there with background check. You know what I mean?
Because you don't want to put nobody down the company and sit there and all of a sudden you send their paperwork up to Albany and they come back wrong. You like, whoa. Albany talking about he ain't supposed to be working here. Yeah, that happened to me before, so I just
it was a wrong fit.
I just had to say they told me I can't work. Whoa, okay. I'm working up at MTV doing security though.
He lied on his application.
But I did, back in '99, you could have did that. So I was up at MTV working security. Yeah. I said, hey, I was just a big guy. They hired me. They said, yeah, he coming in, but I was only here for 3 months. Once they sent that paperwork up to Albany, come talking about you gotta go. He said, yo, Jakeem, we got a paperwork saying that we can't let you work here. We gotta terminate you immediately.
Wow.
I said, for real?
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm like, he said, yo, I don't know what's going on. What happened? I said, I don't even know. I said, I'm going to go contact my lawyer and find out.
Yeah.
I knew what was going on, man. I ain't supposed to be working security.
You got to play it.
No, man, I got 2 felonies. Yeah. I was home, 8 months.
Shout out to the fellas that work.
At least you was trying to make it happen.
Fellas that got jobs, man.
And I tried. That's the whole thing. I'm like, yo, come on. Ain't like I'm in there doing something wrong. I tried to get a job, but it's having to be security. But but that happened to me though. But you gotta go back to gotta be certified. You gotta get your background checked.
I got paperwork on all my members. Shit, they got paperwork.
Yeah, we got
facts.
Paperwork.
It's official.
Got to fill out applications and all that too, man. When I seen that the booklet and stuff, I was like, I ain't filling this shit out, man. Fuck that, man.
Don't fill out, no join.
No, you don't fill out, you don't join. That's true. I filled it out. I filled it out live on Politics. You have.
Because they gotta respect it. That movement in, when you see what's going on, you gotta respect it. I respect the movement.
The structure is real, man. The structure is definitely real.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is.
We definitely salute you for that because you one of those brothers that's like a staple in this. It's not even just ROPC. It's low life period because you can ask anybody about Classic and everybody know Classic. You know what I mean?
They say you're a good dude. You know what I mean? Good dude. You don't have no bad run-ins with him. You know what I mean? No bad business. Just like, not Classic a good dude. That's why, and that's respectable.
They don't set their face up.
You don't want to sit there, you know what I'm saying? Like I tell dude, even though in this day and age, you know what I mean? We out here, we doing what we do, but it's really about, like we say again, it goes back to our future, which is the kids and stuff. If you don't want to be here and leaving a bad stain for your kids to walk behind, you know what I mean? You don't want to leave somewhere, you know what I mean? Who, your pops was just, you know what I mean? Especially what y'all doing here with the movement and giving back in the community. That's something where when your child grow up and they go back to these communities or go back around, they be like, yo, your pops a good dude. Yo, you so-and-so, son?
Yeah.
Word? Yo, I know, he was a good dude. Yo, he used to come around. Yo, what's going on with the, he don't do the things no more? Or is he still doing it? He's still out there. Yo, your pops, he still come out here and give back.
I see him. On them. They gonna remember that.
So, and that's what you want to leave, because you don't want to leave no stain wise. You go away, your kid talking about, I can't go back to my old neighbor. I can't go back somewhere because what my pops did before or who my pops was, he wasn't a good dude.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's not a good look.
You gotta be.
That's not a good look. So it's like that. That's when we talk about giving back and showing. And as far as about our future, when it's about that, and you put your mind and your focus towards that, you can't go wrong,
it's about
man.
the babies, man.
Yeah. Always gotta be about the babies. And now, see, RLPC, right? When did you realize? Because I remember I've heard people say, well, we didn't think it was going to go this far. We didn't think it was going to. When did you realize that RLPC was here to stay? Like, what moment did you wake up and say, you know what? This is the shit. This ain't going nowhere. We here.
I'm just trying to be us, man. You know, not really.
Yo, you need to stop being so modest,
to really say like, yo, RLPC here, we gonna last forever.
Politics is usual, man. Stop being so honest, man.
Listen now. I'm honestly speaking. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's a team effort.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can say, yo, I'm gonna be here forever. You know what I mean? But it's a team effort.
Yeah, but when did you realize, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things started in 2008. We can run down the line. Cars were made that are not being made now. When did you realize that RLPC is here and not going nowhere? That's the question I'm asking.
I guess when everybody started gravitating to us.
Okay.
And that was like the first year we came out. It was like 2008.
Okay.
And that's when we were just, quote unquote, a picture crew.
Picture crew, right?
You know what I mean?
It's about the photos.
Photo bombs. When we first came out, it was about the photos, and we always had the vision to do the charities. Right. So that was, you know what I mean, from day one.
Right.
But when I started seeing all the OGs coming out and supporting us and showing us love, I said, yeah, we here.
We here. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. You know what I'm saying? That's live on Politics as Usual. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is right there, man. You know what I mean? And I got to personally salute you, you know what I'm saying, as being my general. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem saying it. Other people may have, but I don't. You know what I mean? And keeping, because I've seen you go through a lot in the past couple of years, and you never, not once, missed a beat or missed a step with this. You know what I'm saying? With family members passing and stuff like that. You never said, you know what, I'm going to just fall back and I'm done with this. You know what I mean? You've hinted that you're going to retire. You know what I'm saying? But you still here, and I have to salute that. You know what I'm saying? That's coming from me. You know what I'm saying? But
that's
how I feel about the situation you're on Politics as Usual.
Politics as Usual. You know what I mean?
I just don't want to desert the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me being, you know, the head, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I just don't want to desert the team. So whatever I'm going through, I don't bring it to the team. You know what I mean? I handle that separate.
Right, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's
I gotta appreciate that, man.
Yeah, and yo, y'all be doing the Vintage Slow Crown. Y'all just did a Vintage Slow Crown joint. You know, you just had one. Yo, who was the winners of it? Because it was lit. It was nice up in there, man. For Bamboo Garden, right?
Yeah. You know, the RLPC home. You know, RLPC club. Yeah. Shout out to Bamboo Gardens. You know what I mean?
Bamboo Gardens.
Shout out to all the winners. You know what I mean? We had shout out to Sister Simone.
Yeah, Simone did her thing.
She did her thing. Yeah. We also had a big boy category.
Big boy category.
First time ever.
Done for the first time anywhere.
LGBT.
So I try to incorporate the big boys because a lot of times we have these contests and they're always left out.
They always left out.
You know what I mean? So I incorporated them into the event. So shout out to Steam, shout out to Big Guns. You know what I mean?
Shotguns out, man.
They always winning something at some event, man.
This man got a chinchilla on at a polo event.
Shout out to them dudes that shut it down.
Okay.
Them cookie raincoats.
Yeah.
Shout out to this, Vivian and Beck Live from 85.
Yeah, all praise though.
They came and shut it down.
It was raining in Bamboo Garden. Shout them three out, man. Golly, man.
Shout out everybody who came and supported.
Yeah. It was nice, man. It was lit in there for real.
That's what it was.
We had a good time in there.
And then you give Team Magnificent something?
Oh yeah, shout out to Team Magnificent also for best team.
Best team, yeah, best collective team.
Yeah.
You know, try to do things different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, that's what's up. That's all
Definitely
love.
Look, man. So, like, when did that officially become an idea, like to have a vintage low crown? Because you know we always got all these events where we come out, we got to dress fly, get these awards. When did you say, you know what, we're gonna do this? We're gonna put a twist on it and do it as a party for you know what I mean, for the culture and stuff like that.
Well, the vintage low crown came about with me and Prince. Shout out Prince.
Yeah. P, what up, P? What up, P?
So that's how that came together. One day we was just building, you know what I mean? Shout out Church Ave also.
Church Ave boys, huh?
CAB. CAB. You guys shout CAB out. Oh,
one day we was just building and we was like, yo, you know, let's put it together. So we are the originators of the vintage low crown. Prince Law and myself.
Yeah, okay. And that was at what club again?
That was at Couples on Church Avenue. That was the first where we did the first event.
Matter of fact, yeah, I think I went to that one. That's when it was over there in Couple. That's when y'all moved to Bamboo Garden. It messed me up. I'm like, hold on. This wasn't where that was at before. This was on Church Avenue. I just turned off a Linden right on home. That was there.
That was the first club RLPC.
Okay.
That was the original.
Couples.
Club.
Couples is no longer. I think they got new management.
Yeah, they got some other stuff in there, man. They lost out. They ain't got us no more.
They got us no more. They lost out that good. That good business. Good business.
We're going to take Bamboo, though. We're going to keep that right here.
Yeah. That's a good location. Bamboo Garden, good location.
Shout out to Susie, too, with them drinks, man.
Susie Q.
Yeah, Susie.
You know, we got to show Susie love, and she show us love, yo.
Them fire starters.
Yeah. That helium on deck. Get that helium on deck.
Some killers.
You come to ROPC joint in Bamboo Garden, you gotta get you a helium.
Gotta get you a
AKA
helium.
the fire starter.
The fire starter. She likes the ball with the ball on fire. She literally likes the ball.
You just
on
have
fire.
to be there.
You gotta be there to see it. Wow.
You know what I mean? But
that's what it is.
Yeah, man. We just had a good old time with that, man. For real. That was what's up, yo. For real.
So, you know, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, how the vintage came about.
Yeah. Definitely, man.
But yeah, we out here, man. These are interviews that we was telling y'all, man. That we know y'all gonna enjoy. Y'all gonna like, man. This is what it is, man. You know what I mean?
You can't
we out here. We out here. We got my boy Nuff behind the camera.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Holding it down.
Shout out to Nuff.
Come show some love.
Nuff Low out here.
Love, man.
Come my boy, you know what I mean?
People's champ. Your Moon Man Low over here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Moon Man Low.
How we do?
Oh, man.
Boy Nuff.
We always connected. You know what I mean?
Give a little RPC style, you know what I mean?
We hold the camera down for the
Vital is vital.
You know what I mean? Got some little Nuff Low, ROPC in the building.
Yeah, man. We appreciate it, man.
Well,
we just want to say thank you, man.
RLPC,
you know what I mean?
baby.
Thank you to Classic. You know what I mean? Thank you to RLPC. Thank you for having us in the clubhouse that nobody knows about. You got to be RLPC to know about this. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, you ain't gonna never find out about this spot.
Cave.
This is the cave, baby. This is the cave right here. You know
this is where it's at. This we had to come down to Bat Cave and, you know get that good interview for the people.
That goodie.
You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. We're going to be in all the Bat Caves y'all at. All them teams, whatever. We come to your Bat Cave.
We coming. We gonna check
you. You know what I'm saying? We see what's going on out there, man. Get your story out there, man.
We here, man.
Word up. We out here. You know, the L's, you know what I mean? ULL. We out here, man. That's what it is, man. But yeah, man, it was definitely a pleasure having you up here today, man.
Appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for being a part of it. You know what I mean? Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
That's what y'all do. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. You know what I mean? Pushing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it is. You know, this is for the
positive
movement.
thing for the movement.
That's what we about, man. You know,
shout out to
that
light.
Politics as usual.
Politics as usual.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, before we go, you know what I mean? Any brothers, you know what I mean, passed away or anything, you want to shout them out. Brothers is locked down, ROPC, you want to shout them out?
Yeah. R.I.P. Cuz Low, Trey Low,
man.
You know what I mean? All the other lows that's gone to fallen, you know what I mean?
Great dudes, man.
Sleep in peace. All the ones that's locked down. You know what I mean?
Free my nigga Ralph Low, man.
Stay focused.
Ralph Low, Pablo, Buff Low,
Frankie Bull, all that, man. Freedom dudes,
man. All the dudes from behind the bars, you know what I mean?
They don't need to be out there. Yo, shout out to Twiz, man.
Twiz love, man.
You be home soon, son.
Yes, sir.
You be home soon.
We all our brothers incarcerated up in there, man. The belly of the beast, man.
It's my love right here, man.
But yeah, that's what it is, man.
We gonna see y'all the next one, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. Politics as usual.
Politics as usual, man. 2 and 2 this, man. Love is love. Y'all know what we do. Stay up, man. 2 L's. Peace.
50s and 40s. Batman from Flatbush, Crown Heights cannot say Batman. Somebody a go dead. Somebody a go dead. Ready for the buckle man, ready for the war. Eagle up fly through them armored car. Ready for the buckle man, ready for the war. Me and me gun them a come from far. Ready for the buckle man, ready for the war. 3-star Marvel excellence car. Ready for the buckle man, ready for the war. Enough of them a roll splash out and tar. Enough boy fi dead when me race off thematic. Shell it up, shell it down and cause havoc. Bullet will rip through your body like plastic. Boom! Bump flick like gymnastic. Bury some boy, back out the ratchet. Black tie, black shirt, black jacket. Flatline it up, put them in a casket. Watch it, when classic, I clap it. Ready for the buckle man, ready for the war. Eagle up fly through them armored car. Ready for the buckle man, ready for the war. Me and me gun them a come from far. Ready for the buckle man, ready for the war. 3-star Marvel excellence car. Ready for the buckle man, ready for the war. Enough of them a roll splash out and tar. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. So boy ya got dead when me back the tar rust. Headshot some boy skull like a bus. Shoot first, put them in a hearse. Violate the thing, violate the